Welcome back to our second half of Dancing the Dark, and thank you for hanging out with us. We have a wonderful set coming up with everyone again, and it's going to begin with Anne playing her clairshach, which is the word for harp, I believe, in Ireland, Irish. And it's the Monarch Cycle. It's a suite about the butterflies, and I'll just read this note here. In Irish folklore, both butterflies and moths are associated with the soul and attributed with the ability to pass between the worlds. This performance is dedicated to the memory of all those who were lost to COVID-19 around the world. Thank you, Anne, for that. And I'll let you take it from there.
I'm here to introduce this next piece, and it's from an ancient Scots Gaelic prayer to the sun, is what it's referred to. It's two quatrains um, long, and it's the only one for the sun, honoring the sun, and it's sort of like a charm, imploring the sun, and also collected by the same collector in the early 1800s from oral sources. He wrote down the Scots Gaelic from traditional speakers. Uh, are like 12, many different poems honoring the new moon. And the moon, with more the changing and unknown, with the feminine characteristics, um, was honored much more in with the Celts than the sun. But they recognized that the sun was really good and wonderful and important, as do most cultures. But the moon is what gives birth to the sun. The moon allows the sun to come in for the day, and they were well aware of of the uh, of the for the sun, the moon blotting out the sun during the day, the eclipse of the sun, and so that they were convinced that the moon allowed the sun to shine. And this verse, we've put in, Charlie sings it in Gaelic, and we've put the translation, and it's my translation with a collaboration with a Gaelic scholar, with his help. But it seems clear that the first 2.5 lines are delivered to the sun, and the last half and the final line are delivered to the moon in this. So the sun is done in orange and the moon is done in blue. So you can sort of see how it's divided, but you'll see the meaning of the words. And there was no music to this. And in the earliest publication of Irish music in Ireland, not until 1727, is a piece with, it's not in Irish, but it's phonetic, Ghrian, which is Rising of the Sun. And it ended up fitting the words really quite well. And so this is a new work, but we actually, it was this project that got us working on this. so so this is its first outing. That's for sure.
Fáilte ort féin a Ghrian an trach stúisiúil ard an spír. Dó chéine trían scéich na mar stún maithe an rio. Liar, she's uncoon the chief, goon jowl is goon's god. Oot Gary, Suas Erstwa, Nashi, Mariénne.
Thank you, Anne and Charlie, for that marvelous suite. I mean, just simply speechless, no words that can describe that, both of those sets. And I'm sure you all that are here would like to ask Charlie and Anne some questions. So we're going to open it now. If you want to unmute yourselves, if you have any questions to ask Anne and Charlie about their art, their craft, uh, how they move through the world with their music and song and stories. So please feel free to ask.
I had a question about going back to the performance with the stepper, and I was wondering, having lived in New Mexico for a number of years, um, I was really struck by the parallels between Irish dancing and flamenco, and I wonder if you had any thoughts about that.
Oh gosh, who should really answer this would be Danielle Enblum, who did the Shanos dancing is
After party.
at the after party. She'll be holding forth in a room, and you can discuss the dancing with her. I've got two left feet, I think.
That's great. And the other question that I had was for you, Charlie. What is the stringed instrument that you play?
It's a modern creation called that the maker calls a cittern, um, created by Stefan Sobel in northern England, and he says it's actually a cross between the medieval cittern and a Portuguese guitar.
This is a copy of an historical cittern uh, up on the wall here, so you can see the similarity.
Yes, and I was thinking also, I know at least one person who plays oud, and the shape is reminiscent of that, although I think the oud is somewhat got a deeper belly.
Yes.
Certainly, yes, yes. A lot of there's a lot of relationships between the instruments like that.
So how did you come to? You've got such a deep knowledge and understanding of the history of Celtic music and in the work that you're doing. How did you come to that place?
Oh gosh. You know, it's a long story, but as a teen, I started getting unhappy. Well, I liked rhythm and blues and various types of music, but largely speaking, I was disappointed that the melody wasn't more prominent, and the drum section was too loud, and the rhythm guitar section was too much. And I wondered, why couldn't there be a music where the rhythm was really expressed in the melody, and and that the melody also contained elements of the harmony, so you didn't need melody and chords so much. And in my mind, I tried to imagine the music, and I'd been brought up on keyboard and played from 14 years old the pipe organ and things like that. So I had that musical background, um, but I was interested in training horses, and but I tried to imagine this music, and I couldn't. And then I had friends that went out to Boston area and started. They were doing their own music out there playing, and they started getting requests for Irish music, and so they started playing Irish music, and they lent me some of their first recordings. This was in the very early 70s, 1970s. And I heard the music and I recognized it as, yes, music like that. That's what I'd been trying to imagine. And so one thing led to another. And then I ended up reading Edward Bunting's Ancient Music of Ireland about the harp, and his description of 97-year-old Dennis Hempson and how he played really influenced me. I couldn't get it out of my head, so I had to get an instrument. And I was training horses and earning maybe 27 cents an hour. And back then. And Charlie, who was playing Irish music, he actually purchased my first harp for me, made by Jay Witcher, an early Jay Witcher harp in California. And but I had read enough from Bunting that I knew to play on the left shoulder, which was the historical way. And it really makes a huge difference. Can you imagine how keyboard might have arranged differently if the extreme treble went this way to the bass and the bass went to the right? Yeah, it'd be a whole different style of music would have developed. And I think the keyboard notation really spun concert groups, bands, orchestras, even choirs without unaccompanied followed this system of this other system of music. And so I explore parallel traditions, but I learned from playing my harp.
Thank you for that answer. Thank you
Oh,
very much.
well, thank you for
I've got a
asking.
quick question. That was very interesting to hear that. In the midst of COVID right now, Ann and Charlie, do you play many live performances in
No,
Minnesota?
not at all.
No?
And it's hard to stay in shape. Back in the old days when we were playing in bars, it was 5 nights a week, 4 to 6 hours a night. And then you'd do a folk gig or a concert, throw a few of those in, and you just played and played and played. And now, but I'm using this time, I'm so glad to be sort of semi-retired in that I'm redoing all of my techniques and my playing style. I finally really understand how it is, how to be playing my instrument, and it's moving backwards for me to actually perform now because it's not really ready to perform. And when I get stressed, I go into old habits. So I'm really having fun. I finally know how I should be playing, and I just need to really get all the my brain around it so that I'm good at it.
You're teaching, aren't you, right now? Is
I'm
that all
teaching and
virtual?
I'm learning a lot from my students. A whole lot from my students. And hello, my harp friends out there. You are my inspiration.
Hi, Ann and Charlie. Kathy Olson from Western Minnesota.
Yes, yes.
Watching you.
There's
Say,
someone from Marshall out on the program tonight, by the way.
okay, well, out in my area, that's good. And hi to Honor and Orla too, and Merry Christmas, or Happy Solstice, I should say, right? Can you, I think when you had your composition there, I heard the buzzing of a Bray harp.
You did.
And can you let people know a little bit about that? Because not a lot of people know much about the Bray harp, and it just really added to your composition, you know, that buzzing sound was just really neat in there.
Oh gosh, this is not in tune, and I need more brays for it. But these are bray pins, and it needs adjustment. But hear that? And this was the common harp. This is the normal harp that was played in Wales. Oops, sorry, honey. In Wales, and yeah, just so we don't burn the house down there. And in England, and in Scotland, in lowland Scotland, and in Ireland, they had the metal strung harp, and also in Scotland. But the metal strung harp did go to the continent because it was really highly esteemed. But it always kept it was always called the Irish harp, whether it was in Ireland or Scotland in English. And it was always called, in Old Irish, which is pre-900, it was always called crit or crot. And then in the 1300s, they added the name Clarshock. So.
And isn't it true with the Bray? Weren't you experimenting a little while, well, a few years ago with horsehair as far as with the brays? Maybe you can let people know about that. I think it's
the woman
fascinating instrument that not many people know about. So that's why I'm
Yes.
asking the question. Thank you.
The woman who played the Bray harp in the video, she's a student of mine for Bray harp and the Robert Ap Hugh Welsh harp music, and she and I are co-creating 2 horsehair strung harps, one for her and one for me. My horsehair strung harp is sort of in pieces right now in Ireland, and I need a new one, and I've got visions for it, and that's a project that's coming along. So it was the horsehair strings were the older harp, and then it was replaced probably gradually it was replaced by the gut strung harp with Bray strings. Yeah, but this is in Wales, and also the Bray harp on the continent was normal too. And most people think of harp for the modern sound, but the old sound, the normal sound, was with Brays.
It just added a really interesting additional aspect and just feel to your composition, you know, by having that hearing that sound. I just thought it was great that you included the Bray harp, you know, in your composition. So
We're
thank
going
you.
to have to move on here now because it gets late, but we'll take it to the after show when we all have drinks in front of us, and I do want to tell everybody that Danielle Enblum will be doing her own thing talking about dance, those who are interested in the step dancing, and she's excellent. She's world class in her knowledge of this, and Charlie's going to be on his own for the song things, and so that because otherwise he won't get a word in with me talking harp. So we'll see you later after the show, and the show must go on.
Thank you once again. Anne and Charlie, we're now going to go back to the farm with Mariénne for our closing set. It's back at the Living Song Farm. So Mariénne, I think you're going to be doing one of my favorite poems. When Mariénne showed me the set list, I thought, wow, there's a poem by Shakespeare that it's rarely known, but I would always get it out and recite it with the first snowstorm every year. And so thank you. I'll let you take it from there.
Okay, well, yes. Am I on? Can you hear me? Okay, there I am. Okay. Well, I'd like to see Danielle dance to this. Little William Shakespeare here, when icicles hang by the wall. All right, bring it on. How am I doing so far?
When icicles hang by the wall, and Dick the shepherd blows his nail, and Tom bears logs into the hall, and milk comes frozen home and bare, when blood is dipped and ways be foul, then nightly sings a staring owl. To-hoot-to-wit, 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 a merry note. While greasy Jonas give a pop, when all aloud the wind doth blow, and coughing drowns a parson's saw, and birds sit brooding in the snow, and Marianne's nose looks red and raw, when roasted crabs hiss in the bowl, then nightly sings a staring owl. To-hoot-to-wit, 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 a merry note. While greasy Jonas kill the pot, crazy, jumped and gave a pump. When icicles hang by the wall, when icicles hang by the wall, when icicles hang by the wall. Tragic loss of Frederique. Frederique the mouse had such high hopes, such big dreams for a little mouseling. I must say, I feel rather responsible for his death. I should have warned him about the hazards, but it's too late now, isn't it? He stole 2 toothpicks, which he'd obviously schemed to use for poles. I must say, I'm not in the habit of counting my toothpicks, so I really had no clue. I mean, it's all too absurd, isn't it? I had been rather cross with him lately, as he'd been prone to sneaking into my dresser drawer and gnawing on some rather personal, dare I say, intimate items of mine. But when a curse escaped my lips, well, I didn't mean it literally. I suppose when he was squeaking out an immensely annoying high-pitched song in the middle of the night, I dismissed it as a rather weird dream, perhaps the effect of too much rhubarb sauce and creme brulee before bedtime. Strangely, I still hear that song in my head, kind of like Bruce Springsteen on helium. I'm going to ski beneath the moon when Fahrenheit is 0. I'm going to ski beneath the moon just as it eclipses. I'm going to strap on razor blades because I'm a badass mousey. I'll fly down the highest peak and screech my battle cry. Ha, ha, screech my battle cry. In hindsight, I should have thrown out the double-edged razor blades long ago instead of sticking them in the corner of a drawer. This morning, after the horror of finding his tiny frozen body.
Oh, Frederique.
I located bits of paraphernalia down the slope. I wish I could say he died with a smile on his rodential lips, but he just looked freaked out to me. Frederique wasn't a Christian, but I said a prayer and created a tiny altar to honor him. I reverently placed one of his ski poles and the bloody razor on an antique wooden mousetrap. It looks nice. And somehow, his picture makes me smile. Thank you for listening. Thank you. I had to get that off my chest. Bear.
All right. Jerry, who was that person in the coat there with the ski poles and everything?
Just a non-credited musician.
Non-credited. It's very sad. Okay, well, we've just got a few more songs here tonight, and I want to introduce Looking for a Sunset Bird in Winter, which is a setting I did of a Robert Frost poem, which just last year came into public domain. So that kind of makes things easy for me. And following that with a song called No Stars, No Tracks, which I actually wrote years ago, kind of remembering being in a snowstorm. I don't know if you've ever just driven or walked in a snowstorm and you have no sense of how long anything is or how far anything is, and somehow miraculously arriving home, and then there'll be kind of a surprise for the end. So here we go with Looking for a Sunset Bird in Winter. Thank you, Robert Frost.
to south across the blue. A piercing little star was through. Looking for a sunset bird in winter, a sunset bird. Looking for a sunset bird in winter, a sunset bird. Looking for a sunset bird in winter, a sunset bird. Looking for a sunset bird in winter, a sunset bird. Bears sleep deep, wind-driven white contours, roofs and fields, torquing me to winter scarecrow. Hair of icicles a-clangin', sleeves a-billowin', pants twist and ripped to tatters. Ghosts blasting out from hollows, shriek and howl at me, sailing past in feckless glee. Going home to winter skies. Going home where north wind cries. Going home through drifting snow. Going home can be so slow. Going home with empty hands, and the failed and foiled plans of mice and men. Trinkets of my history, stranded in the ditch, miles behind me. And there's no stars, no stars, no stars to guide me, no tracks, no tracks, no tracks to follow. If I be blinded, my instincts are strong. I will, I will find my way back home. Oh. Mama, sing a lullaby in the language of a lost and distant tribe. Sing it past the frozen gate. Sing it to the one for whom we wait. Papa, pile the tinder deep. Strike the match, give me heat.
Marianne, thank you so much for all of the
Oh.
multiplicity of your talents.
How
Could
much
you get
fun
up-
to play with Ann and Charlie. And I was just telling Jerry,
Yeah.
I think Charlie's really sexy when he plays that button accordion.
Well, you have such synergy together, the three of you. It's
It's
just amazing, truly.
a lovely excuse for us to connect. It's like
Yeah.
I usually I call Ann up like once a year when I get the Ann urge, and then we have some kind of strange, outrageous conversation that goes on for a couple hours. So this has just been great to have them integrated into our lives for a couple of months. And I want to acknowledge just all you guys, and Brandon is just like an exceptional stage manager there behind the scenes. And Richard and Tim and Shannon and those people I don't even know how to name. Quite a labor of love you've got going, and quite a service to the community and service to the artists. So just want to thank you for that.
Okay, what's on your horizon? Marianne, anything specific?
I'm working on a new musical about Nikola Tesla called Tesla's Mistress, and that's really kind of, after getting through this now, that's kind of moving to the front to pay attention to. So, yeah.
Well, I'm going to introduce Charlie, who's going to close out our show for tonight, and then we'll see you in the chat room. So Charlie, why don't you give us the closing performance.
Okay, thanks, Richard. We'd like to thank everyone involved, Tim and Brandon and Richard and Shannon and Mariénne, of course, for her friendship and an invitation to this solstice shindig. It's a wonderful little party tonight. And I'm going to introduce this last piece, which is actually a traditional, there's a takeoff of traditional sea shanty, the work song that the sailors sing to coordinate their efforts in pulling on the lines and so forth. Is the original song was Holloway Joe, and it started out something like this. When I was a little lad, me mother then she told me, way Holloway, we'll Holloway Joe, that if I didn't kiss the girls, my lips would grow all mouldy. Way Holloway, we'll Holloway Joe. The chorus went, way Holloway, we'll Holloway together. Way Holloway, we'll Holloway Joe. And the second line, way Holloway, pray for better, we'll pray for better weather. Way Holloway, we'll Holloway Joe. Now this modern remake is for all those of us living in the northern snow belt, where we're all too familiar with the work of shoveling snow. So this was a takeoff of that Holloway Joe. It's called Holloway Snow.
And Joe, yeah.
When I was a little lad, me mother then she told me, way Holloway, we'll Holloway snow, that if I licked a frozen pipe, me tongue would surely hold me. Way Holloway, we'll Holloway snow. Way Holloway, we'll Holloway together. Way Holloway, we'll Holloway snow. Pray for better weather. Way Holloway, we'll pray for better weather. Way Holloway, we'll Holloway snow. I ain't got no four-wheel drive, I ain't got no snowblower. Way Holloway, we'll Holloway snow. So winter is a pain me back and most days even lower. Way Holloway, we'll Holloway snow. haul away, we'll pray for better weather. Way, haul away, we'll haul away snow. I can't get to Florida, I'm financially unable. Way, haul away, we'll haul away snow. So I've a good relationship with a set of booster cables. Way, haul away, we'll haul away snow. Way, haul away, we'll haul away together. Way, haul away, we'll haul away snow. Way, haul away, we'll pray for better weather. Way, haul away, we'll haul away snow. Once I loved a Yankee girl, but now we're separated. Way, haul away, we'll haul away snow. For she was strictly Fahrenheit and I am metricated. Way, haul away, we'll haul away snow. To me, way, haul away, we'll haul away together. Way, haul away, we'll haul away snow. Show, way, haul away, we'll pray for better weather. Way, haul away, we'll haul away snow.
Oh, come on, Charlie, get it together.
I just dug me driveway out them snowdrifts I was slinging. Way, haul away, they'll haul away snow. But then a bloody plow drove by and packed the whole damn thing in. Way, haul away, we'll haul away snow. To me, way, haul away, we'll haul away together. Way, haul away, we'll haul away snow. Sing it! Way, haul away, we'll pray for better weather. Way, haul away, we'll haul away snow. To me, way, haul away, we'll haul away together. Way, haul away, we'll haul away snow. Way, haul